That elevator. Check it out. Look. Hey. Hold on my tree, I've been thinking about my mom. Honestly, I'm still fucked up about Raj. Got me thinking about my dad. I ain't haven't been the past. Life been moving fast and it don't ever go as planned. That's why I'm hella proud of me pick that camera up. I remember my first he picked the hammer up. Cause then I'm praying for you every single day. Every time we talk on FaceTime, I see my Uncle Bay. And I start thinking about Don. He could keep on going on. Too many people try to fit him in one song. If you with me, then you with me, and I hope you sing along. 20K on taxes, Burberry in my glasses. I look like stuffing money in a flying to the bank, this bread all. 20K up, not at all. We ain't eating. We used to see the fucking views, scenery immaculate. I'm stacking at 24. Said I'm done with this rapping shit. 25, just checked 25 last month. I didn't think I'd pick this fucking mic back up. I'm 35th and 19, my boy, where that cash at? Bitch in my cash app, talking about I got hella Chico's, gotta be my people. I was peeping through that people, just I see the other side. What I'm about to tell you, dog, it really blew my mind. Think about it, brother, before you try to say I'm lying. I was only planning 10, but I passed that S10. When you get money, you don't care about advantage. I can't rub a bands, kid, make paper bags, flip it the bank like an addict. I have it, I ain't running out. I'm the type of motherfucker that keeps spending in the drum, dog. I got it figured out. Hey, keep going, dog. Keep doing what you trying to do. It took 3 years for me to make 20 bands off the dogs. You feel me? It took 3 years. It took me three seasons of Storage Wars to finally tell my girl, hey, get up, we gonna go get a unit. We made more than I ever did at work. You know what I mean? And guess what? I got let go this year. It don't even matter. I made it happen. 2024, I lost my job. Ah, boo. It don't really matter though. Last year I learned voodoo. Long live Raj. I miss you. I'm still addicted. Only difference is I am no longer a victim. Roll 100 grand. I predicted and I did it. And you know what that means. Now I'm focused on the million. Every day I thank God just because we love it. To all my little brothers, you got it. Just stay committed. And all I need is Kevin Dunn. That's 100. Yeah. Cause they the ones who had me when I had nothing. Yeah. They the ones who held it down. And now I'm son. Yeah. So who you think I'm putting on? Like, come on, cause we about to ball. They don't even know. This ain't nothing like Joe Heavy that you heard before. This is everything I prayed for. Why you think I'm gonna finally jump to the other side of that table? I'm heading down rich now, yeah, we all up. My bitch got the fist now, yeah, she dolled up. Been had the fish kill you niggas all cut. I've been past the 100, hope you niggas keep up. And I ain't slowing down, y'all ain't messing with me. When a nigga had less, y'all wasn't checking on me. And I still cut a deal if you talking about three. That I still cut that deal if you talking about three. Hey, 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 look. I gotta thank God without bro, I wouldn't be. I started with a half, now I keep a couple pieces. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Money don't grow on trees, but trust I keep a forest. And I grew up the forest, dogs, so what's your excuse? I flip bags out the street in my daily commute. The south side to the east, dog, the north side to the west. If I make it back from Cali, thank God, cause I'm blessed. And I never got caught. Dog, I never broke laws. I put balls on motherfuckers just for running their jaws. Like what you heard about me? Well, you finna see. I don't play with disrespect, dog. Nah, me. I'm from California, hey. At the end of the day, we'll be flip bags, bank rags, fuck minimum wage. Bro, I grew up a bastard. It's only right I'm a rapper. Was always good with mathematics. That's only right I out traffic. I flip work, I broke hearts, I made it out the slums. I'm from a city now where you gotta keep guns. That's Phoenix, dog. The meanest weapon hotter than the sun. And I ain't the only one, dog. We all got clips, but my clip don't jam. This that Russian stick. AK-47 just to rush a bitch. I got bitches for sale. I ain't talking about hoes. I made my first 10 grand off some puppies and bones. Nigga. On some puppies and bones, I have my little nigga coming up your house with some bowls. Pull up with the members and you know what's the goal. You better not play with big bros, have niggas right at your throat. She keep talking about her nigga, but she know he a hoe. One false move and you know we on froze. Raised not to fold. No, this ain't nothing I chose. AK with the stick and it came from Big Bro. We get it in by the low. Yeah, that's all that we know. I gotta do whatever it takes to get my mama home. Get my mama home. I gotta do whatever it takes to get my mama home.
What's good? What's good? What's good, chat? What's good, chat? Drop some fire emojis in the chat right now. Look at that. We're gonna see some buys right now happening. I'm looking at Ooh, man, look at that. Cross on the 2 minute chart. I'm looking at buys right now. Y'all can enter for a buy. I'm confident in that. I'm confident in that. I'm confident in that. I'm that confident. Right now, y'all can enter in a buy if you like. Quick scalps. What's good? What's good? It's your boy Suave Flex. Man, coming live to y'all, man. Look, we're gonna watch this. I want to watch this, just hit right quick. Fire emojis in the chat, baby. Let's go. Buys are happening in the chat right now. You can catch 50 pips. Entry, I would say 46.40. But let's get into it. Let's see why we're going in this chart in this chat right now. Look, you can enter it. All right, you could definitely enter it. I'm gonna start where I typically start. Okay, guys. Now what we're doing here is definitely it's nothing new. All right, nothing new. We talk about the same thing every single time. For the last year, we've been talking about the same thing. All right, we've been talking about TSQ. TSQ. All right, I'm trying to bring up my chart right now. Um, and what TSQ stands for, trend structure quarter levels. Okay, trend structure quarter levels. We see it right here. Boom, trend structure quarter levels. Typical time, 5:30 a.m. is New York time. Why is it New York time? That's 3 hours ahead. Okay, we're talking Eastern time. Okay. When I say 5:30 MST, Mountain Standard Time, that's Arizona time. That's our time. And then if you ever hear like PST, like Pacific Standard Time, that's going to be California. Obviously, it's always going to be West Coast. I used to think, trust me, I used to get this confused. I don't know how being in the military, but when I got in the military, that's what helped me out a lot. Learning time zones, all that good stuff. The military time, all that good stuff. All right. Um, what I want to tell you guys right now, gold has been moving dramatic, like a drama queen. All right. And that's what she's going to move like. Okay. So this is where this is definitely where our strategy can come in place. This is where you can take these kind of trades and be confident in when you take these trades. Okay. Whoever paid a lifetime access, that's what you're paying for. Okay. To understand, to learn. I could give you, people think, oh, let me get it, like trade for me, or give me a signal, yada, yada, yada. Give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. Teach a man how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. Okay? I'm teaching y'all how to fish. And the reason we're teaching y'all how to fish, me and Joe, the Splash Brother creators, like we want y'all to understand that you guys are supposed to go out there and be confident in taking these trades. We had tremendous outcomes, tremendous testimony excuse me, testimonies where, you know, excuse me, tremendous testimonies where you're able to, see people actually make money. And if you haven't made money yet, that's probably because you're not focused enough. You're not disciplining yourself, and you're probably not watching these recordings. And when I say recordings, watching from day one. All right. So 4 hour trend is what we're looking at from TSQ. All right. We already talked about the 5:30. 4 hour trend is going to be the first thing that we're looking at. Okay. So let me go to this 4 hour chart. Let's look at what's going on. And if you don't know what these orange lines are and it looks confusing already to you, then you probably need to get with me and Joe and you need to do that one-on-one session with us. Okay. And if you haven't done that one-on-one session and you paid, definitely get with us. Okay. Please. All right. Trust me, there's quite enough of you that paid us and haven't done our one-on-one. And to me, I feel like, I don't like that. I'm a customer service kind of guy. I want to make sure you guys are getting the best service, with us, being yes, it's just a lifetime access, one payment, you know, sooner or later it's going to be a monthly payment. When we have 1,000 plus students inside of this chat, when we are, having people, individuals from countries, we have Muhammad who's in the Splash Bros chat, who's from, I believe, from Switzerland. I'm not, definitely out of this country. Shout out to my brother. And like that's the thing. He trusts us, paid a one-time lifetime access, and has made money, tremendous money. Shout out TSQ. He shouts us out every time. And if you're not in the Instagram chat, get with us on that. You should be in that. Okay. So 4 hour trend. We were on an uptrend when market closed on Friday. Sorry, when market closed, I believe we closed Thursday, going into Thursday. I don't know if you guys noticed that the market was closed all day Thursday and then all day Friday. Okay. And that's because of, obviously bank holidays, things like that. If you were confused, don't worry, mark it on your calendar next year. It's going to happen again. Okay. So, and I was prepared this year. I had it in my calendar and I was like, oh, snap, cool. I know not to trade. Didn't take any trades. And if I didn't call it out in the chat, it's probably because I was busy. I'm definitely doing stuff too. I'm here every Sunday, guys. And again, if you're hitting us and you're messaging us through the chat, then we can see that. Then we can reach out to you. Then we can help you. If you're not doing that, then closed mouths don't get fed. Like, what? Like, I don't know that you want to be helped. I don't know that. Joe doesn't know that. Nobody knows that but you. So reach out if you need the help, if you need the guidance, because again, closed mouths don't get fed. Please, whatever your alter ego is saying, drop it. Let's get to work. All right. Let's make some money together. That's what we're about. All right. So when market open, you've seen that this gap happen. Okay. Therefore, when this gap happened, this sold. When this sold, we already we you didn't want to trade that. I mean, unless you already knew insider trading, you already knew this was going to sell, then yeah, take the sell. But when we caught this right here, when I caught some buys, I was just scalping. I sent that in the iPhone chat. But this right here, typically we would have what thought, okay, snap, sells right now. Okay, sell. We would have thought, oh, okay, we're in momentum for sells. Now, we would have waited for this next 4 hour trend to open. We would have thought sell. Okay, cool. That's why you put what? We put stop losses because typically, if we're trading what trend structure quarter level, we're going to hypothetically think, okay, this stayed below my quarter level, my 46.25 level on a 4 hour trend. I'm going to think sells, right? But then if we go to our actual, what we teach, okay, our strategy, we're looking at what? What are we looking at, guys? Drop it in the chat. If you've been here for every call, drop it in the chat. What are we looking for? Do you know? Do you guys know what we're looking for? Oh, snap. We're looking for the 15-minute we're looking for the 15-minute structure. I'm trying to find it. We're looking for the 15-minute structure. Okay. 30-minute structure. 15-minute entry, 30-minute structure. Okay. So we go to our 30-minute chart and we're like, okay, we're looking at that next 4 hour. We're looking at that next 4 hour. When that next 4 hour opened, we would have thought, okay, what's happening, right? What's happening? Okay. So we know that what it stayed below 46.25. So how do I find that? This would have been the 4 hour right here. All right. This would have been that next 4 hour because it broke through. Okay. Right here. Once this broke, it broke the structure of 46.25. Automatically, that just destroys a trend. That destroys what you're thinking about for 4 hour trend. Right now, we don't have a trend. Right now, we're like this boom, 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 boom. And what do we call that? Consolidation. Okay. Right now, we could see this potentially going down right here, going back up, going this. And then when we see the what? BOS break a structure on the bigger time frames, our actual trend, like the 4 hour, when we're looking at that. And then when we want to look for these entries, okay, I don't want to confuse us. So I don't want to confuse you guys. So structure, slash BOS, break of structure, we would have known, okay, 46.25. If it broke this structure, if it broke right here, okay, if it broke this last high, because this was the last high, that was the last high right here. When market opened, this was the last high. It boom, okay, boom, it sold. Boom. All right, cool. 4 hour open. We're gonna wait for this sell. We would have thought, okay, boom, boom. And we would have thought this, right? We would have thought that. Because why? We're following TSQ. But, but structure, we would want to wait for that 15-minute entry, right here. When it opened, when that next 4 hour open, look how it exploded through. It exploded through. And how would we have known that? Because we would have known on the what? 5 minute and the 2 minute, following these entries, knowing when to go in. Look, this 5 minute chart broke through that structure. Boom! Broke through that structure. Break of structure. It broke. And this is what I mean. I don't have it on the TSQ strat, but we like to look at that 5 minute. We like to look at the lower time frames, 5 minute, 2 minute. Because if I even went to the 2 minute, and yes, I do pay for Trading View, okay, $16 a month. If you want any of these indicators that I have, all right. And if you want the indicator names, get with me. That way you know. Because look, right here. Look at that. Look at Ah! Look at that. The EMA's crossed. 4 hour chart. 2 minute. 2 minute. I'm sorry, 2 minute, but I'm thinking 4 hour. I'm thinking higher time frame. 4 hour, the trend, we would have thought sell, right? We would have to wait. Hands on your fucking, like your hands you're just sitting on them. You're waiting. You're just like, I want to trade. But this is where discipline and patience comes in because look, we would have known automatically in these 5 minute and the 2 minute, okay, that the structure broke. Not only that, my indicators told me that we're looking for buys. Okay. We're looking for buys. Okay. Now, when we were looking for these buys, okay, this is again this is all at 4 o'clock. It's only 9 o'clock, guys. We have we have fucking Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. All right. I want you to know that you don't need every day to trade. Stop thinking that we need that. Stop thinking that we need that. I used to think that. And then I started catching $200-$300 every other day. And then I'm like, oh, it's that. I don't need that. And then I'm chilling with my family and I'm not stressing. Why? Because the strategy works. It's okay to work a job. Work your job. Focus on your family. Work your job. Do whatever you're doing. Stream that stream. Fucking play that fucking video game that you want to play. Make that trade that you want to make. Take that trade. Make that fucking money. Secure your bag and get on with your fucking day. Stop thinking that you need to trade 5 times a day, 10 times a day. It's not like that anymore, guys. Trust me. I know we want to catch. There's just so many pips to catch. My wife had this quote because she knows me. We like making money. It's so fast. I just made $108 right now. Of course I want to trade. Of course I want to trade more. But I'm gonna enjoy my day. I'm about to hop on the game. I don't want to stress and trade and play my game. No, I don't want to do that. Trust me, guys, I've done it before. I've done it before. But know that this plan works because look at this. Break a structure. Look at that. And even if I put that right here, if I got in late, let's just say I got in at 27. Look at that. I got in at 27. Even then, 100 pips. Look at guys. No drawdown. When these EMAs cross, even then, let's just say hypothetically you got in late. Let's just say you got in late. You're just like, oh fuck, break a structure. Let me wait. Let me wait. Let me follow what Suave was saying. Let me look left. The only reason I knew that because what? I looked left to right. And if I knew 4 hour, the next 4 hour chart, the candle was going to be opening. I would wait. I'm looking. All right. And I'm like, okay, let me see the last high on the lower time frames. Let me go into the 5 minute chart. Let me look at that bad boy. Here, delete that. Let me look at that bad boy. Let me see what happened with that guy. Because I want to know what happened. I want to make sure I know what's going on in this market. Okay, I see that this is the last time that, gold had some high. Now, this candle right here is going to be the next 4 hour candle. So this was the last candle. So we're like, okay, all right. So it stayed below 46.25. That's our quarter level. That's TSQ. So we're going to look for sales. We're looking for sales. The bias might be sales, but we want to wait. Let's wait for this 5 minute candle. Let's wait because you know why? The new 4 hour candle is about to open. Let's wait. Okay. Okay, cool. So we see it here. And then look, and just to make it even better for y'all, look, boom. I'm going to bring y'all back to the past. back to Back to the future. Head ass. Let's go. All right, let's play that. Let's see what happens. Boom. We're like 5 minute. 5 minute happen. Oh, snap. All right. Yo, CJ's calling cells. Wait, hold up. Pause. Wait, it broke. It broke structure. Structure broke. Why? Because we were looking left to right. You're like, yo, CJ called cells. But wait. He said watch to left to right because we're looking at that last high on this lower time frame. Even if we go to the only time frames that he talks about 4 hour and then what does he talk about? 30-minute structure. Okay, so we see that last 30-minute candle was right here. This last high was right there. It looks like it almost broke the 46.25 TSQ quarter level. Okay, so we're gonna watch this next 30-minute chart. So this next 30-minute candle, what it happens to what sell. Okay, this last one, what? It sold off. So you would have thought, okay, let's get in the sell. Boom. Nothing happened. People would have thought, get in the sell now, right here. This was too late. This was too late. When this happened, this was too late. Why? Because this already happened. Boom. Structure. Remember, we're talking about structure. Market open. This happened. Fucking sold again. Okay, let's wait. Let's wait. Boom, this happened. It stayed below 46.50. So then you would have what? Obviously took that sell on this next 30-minute candle. Sold. Boom. Right here. You would have got in the sell again. Boom. Probably sold. All right. Came back up. Probably hit people's stop loss. Some people would have got in right here again. Boom. Sold. But look, some people's stop loss probably would have got hit because look at this. Look at this guy right here. Okay. And then we're talking about going into these buys. Break a structure, BOS, break a structure. So we would have known like, okay, trend is switching up on us. TSQ is switching up on us. Let's focus on these. All right. So let's go back to that lower time frame again. All right. And this is a very educated call, guys. This is a very advanced call. If you don't understand what the hell I'm saying, watch from the beginning. Okay. Watch from the beginning. Okay. And understand it. Just be like, okay, oh, he's talking about this candle. He's zooming out. He's doing this. And if you still don't understand that, get with me and Joe. We have definitely something in place for you to understand that. I would think it's a 2 month plan for you to definitely understand what we're talking about, break a structure, using a scanner, things like that. All right. So other than that, once this broke on that 5 minute chart, okay, once this broke, you would have said, oh, snap, because CJ was what? Calling sells. Hypothetically, I'm calling sells because of this 46.25 staying below. We look at the smaller time frames. But even then, I probably wouldn't have even been calling that sell. Looking at this and then going down to my 2 minute, look at my 2 minute. The 2 minute already crossed. The 2 minute already crossed. I'm not looking for fucking sells anymore. When this crossed, I probably was already looking for some buys. Okay. Honestly. As soon as these EMAs cross, I'm looking for the uptrend. when they go down, I'm looking for that downtrend right here. Look, when they cross for the sell, it sells. It sells. It might have the retest. It might have the retest, but it sells. Look at guys. This thing works. Okay. And I've been using it. I've been winning. I've been grateful for it. Um, and I can't complain. I cannot complain. I still use TSQ. Obviously, it helps me be confident in the trades that I'm taking, a lot more confident because look at that. TSQ followed. Look at that. Break a structure. It broke, stayed above our quarter level, 46.25. Even then, you could have looked, you could have started looking for what? TSQ buys. Okay, take a $10 loss, but what? Get that $10 back, or you go in for a little bit of bigger lot size because why? We start to what? Notice the trend and we start to notice that break of structure because once we break structure, we follow that trend. The trend is your friend. Remember that forever. The trend is your friend. Shout out to Christopher Terry, Darwin Lopez, Wealthy Pips, all them. All right. The trend is your friend. All right. Follow that. Okay. Let me play this. What happened? Just continued up, guys. Continued up. Look at that. Continued up. Almost. And then look, it sold. It sold. Because look, and then look, tested what? What did it do? It tested our fucking strat because we do that. Joe talks about this. When it breaks structure, we wait what? For the retest. If you're in the Discord, you look at Splash Bros mindset. If you scroll up a little bit, I was just looking at this the other day because I was so bored at fucking work. I'm like, my brother Joe was talking about this, like let me just focus on what I want to focus on today's call. If you look at the Splash Bros mindset, like you can see what he talks about. All right. When following TSQ, you guys probably can't see this, but I'm going to read it. When following TSQ, you want to see a clear close above a key or golden zone and wait for a retest to enter your trade. What do we see, guys? A fucking break of structure, the retest, sit on your fucking hands. That was only what? It broke, so we just had to wait. What? It broke what? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 15, 14, 16, 18. You have to wait what? 18 minutes? So that's what? A 15-minute candle? You had to wait a 15-minute candle? So what? You could have caught that what? Right there. Bah! The retest, when it broke structure on that 15-minute chart, and then it retested, when that next 15-minute chart, you're like, oh snap, let me wait, let me wait, let me wait. You okay? Okay. Sorry, guys. You're let me wait. 15-minute broke. Let me wait for this restruct. Boom. Got in. Why? Because look, we're looking at these smaller time frames. I just said it. We like looking at the smaller time frames. Boom. Retest. You would have been looking at the 5-minute, and then you would have been looking at the what? 2-minute. The 2-minute what? 2-minute would have been what? Perfect. Boom. Boom. And then TSQ, baby. You would have what hit still 100 pips because if you would have caught it even then, right here at 42, even if you got in late, let's just say you got in at 46.25 or all this, or let's just say you got in right here, like none of these stop losses would have hit. None of these stop losses would have hit. Okay. None of these stop losses would have hit because you want to wait for what? Again, if you're looking at Splash Bros mindset, this is actually free. This is free in the Splash Bros chat. All right, in the Discord. It's the first one. You can enter, you can enter prior to the retest, either below the zone, or as it passes through the zone if you have other factors like it being early in New York session or volume is high in the London session. Okay, this is what? This was Asian session right here, obviously, because right now this is market open. Okay. So I'm throwing a lot of sauce at y'all. I told y'all, I definitely told y'all to tune in. I had something coming for y'all, but I'm gonna take this indicators away. I want y'all to see clear, okay? And we're gonna just watch it to the full and to the end. All right. Boom. Retest. Again. Perfect. The strat works, guys. Look at that. Retest, it stayed above. You're waiting. And again, through these times, you're having stop losses. You're having stop losses, break evens. Like you're having these kind of things happen. Like, look at that. And then this is a 2-minute chart. Yeah, I want you guys to remember that. It never broke this structure. So what would have been the sell structure? What would have been like, okay, well, CJ, how do I know like when to go in for a sell? Like, okay, yeah, great question. Right there. Why? Why? Because look at that. This is the last time it hit. This is the last. I'm running out of time. This is the last time it hit. Left to right. Look, left. Okay. I'm looking left. Okay. I want to make sure that this doesn't break. If anything breaks below this, then I know Suave was right. This is going to sell. Okay. All right. Because look at that. We followed what? Break a structure over here. We want to follow the same thing. We want to follow the same exact thing. Break a structure over here. Boom. All right. Follow the same thing, guys. I got 9 minutes left. Any questions? Anything like that? I'm gonna let this play. Any questions? If you guys have anything, please let us know. All right. Definitely let us know. But look at that, guys. Definitely look at that. And then the buy structures. You would have known, okay, cool. How do I find more buys? Boom. Look at that. Look how it broke. Look how it broke. And then more buys. Okay, how do I know? Look over here. Look over here. Boom. And then not only that, look, what do we find? 4650. That's a what? TSQ. It would have broke structure. We wait. And then some people would have waited for the retest. You could either wait for the retest, but if you're confident in that trade and you know, okay, it broke BOS, break a structure, it broke through, take the trade. Be confident. No, because look, there was no drawdown. I've taken trades like that. I took a trade like that today, right now. I just made $108, chilling. Before the call, I was just looking at the charts. I was just like, all right, I know what I'm doing. I have my indicators. I'm confident. That's how I want y'all to be. Making $108 before a call and be like, yo, fuck, I just made 108. And then look, I'm about to hop on the game right now, chilling. Call of Duty, Black Ops 7 is free right now. I'm about to enjoy myself. All right. Just had my brother Joe over for dinner. Amazing day. All right. So there's a time for you guys to do things like that. There's a time for you guys to trade. There's a time for you guys to, educate yourself. There's a time for you guys to go to the gym. There's a time for you guys to have fun. And right now is probably the time for you to focus. Okay. So focus on learning the TSQ strategy, watching all the videos. And I promise you, like, look at that. Break a structure right there. How would we have known, guys? Look, boom. We're looking left to right. Okay, cool. Look, it broke this. Boom. Okay, so I know if it breaks this, then I know I'm going in for sales. Okay, boom. Hit. Okay, cool. I know if that what? If it breaks anything over here, anything right there, we're going for sales. Okay, it never broke. Look, it never even broke. Boom. And now we're at what? We're at that zone right now. We're in real time right now. Okay. This is real time. All right, guys. I got 6 minutes left. I don't think I got any questions right now. Do I got any questions? All right, perfect. Let's get it. No questions, but I'm going to leave it here and I'm going to put my favorite song on. I'm going to run it back. Let's get it, man. Much love. It's your boy Suave Flex with the Splash Bros. Let's get it. Sunday, April 5th, man, 2026.
Hey, 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 look. I gotta thank God, without bro, I wouldn't be. I started with a half, now I keep a couple P's. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Money don't grow on trees, but trust I keep a forest. And I grew up the forest, dogs, but what's your excuse? I flip bags out the street in my daily commute. The south side to the east, dodging north side.